super excited about Friday. I know we got to get more than just good morning, good morning. Let's get this thing going. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Yes. Hey, Lynn. How are you, my love? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Tish. Hey, Christy. Hey, Browder. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. I'm excited about Friday or Friday, however you want to say it. Anytime I'm getting this, y'all see me fixing my hair, it's because what I look at and see is on the opposite side. So I have to get it together here. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. It's Friday, guys, and we're looking in the mirror. I know some of us are like, well, I love looking in the mirror anyway, so that's not a big deal. But some people don't enjoy looking in the mirror. So it is a huge deal. So good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. As you come on, do like and share. Like and share. Let me get myself situated. Good morning, good morning. If this is your first time coming on, my name is Dr. K, and I am the founder of the Freedom by Design movement, and I'm excited that you are going to be a part of it today and moving forward. Good morning, Susan. Hey, Nora. Good morning, Yolanda. Hey, Kenneth. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Guys, go ahead, like and share as you get on. It is going to be a good discussion this morning, so I know I'm already excited about it. I've got my fix this morning. If y'all missed the God Zone, I need y'all to get on Monday through Friday because my brother, Martin Augustine, he brought a word today. Yes, Yolanda, it is Juneteenth. We should not forget about that. It is Juneteenth. So freedom is definitely in order. Yes, yes, and yes. Good morning, Felicia. Good morning, Angela. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So guys, let's go ahead and jump right in. For those of you that might have friends that you're like, oh, I wish they could have heard it, you can share it. Good morning, Amanda. And thank you for your support, Amanda. Your shirt has already shipped. I look forward to seeing a beautiful picture with you in it. Good morning, Avril. Good morning, Rutho. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So as I said, this morning our topic is mirror, mirror. Hey, Juanita. So yes, happy Juneteenth to everybody. Please, please, guys, and you can interact in the comments. I appreciate that. I'm super excited about that. And we have a video that's gonna come out today too after this live. But let's get into mirror, mirror. Now, as soon as we say mirror, mirror, the first thing I know I'm thinking about is the fairy tale, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And that's right to a certain degree, but let's go a little deeper. You know, typically when we talk about somebody looking in the mirror or looking in their phone to check themselves, we associate that with vanity or even narcissism. But the truth of the matter is most people never really take a deep look at themselves in the mirror. And I don't mean just the physical mirror to see, you know, if my makeup is right or my hair is right or my shirt is ironed or pressed or whatever that is. Some people really can't stand to look at themselves more than a quick glance. And the question comes, you know what? Why? Because we have been conditioned so much to be critical about our physical appearance, and we're consistently comparing ourselves to other people. But this morning, guys, when I talk about mirror, mirror, and when you know, it dropped in my spirit this morning in my meditation, it had nothing to do with what I look like. It has more to do with what I look like on the inside from an emotional, a spiritual, a physiological perspective. You know, so I really want us to get to the point that it's beyond, you know, what's on the outside. Yeah, we want to take care of our temples and all of that great stuff. But this morning when the Holy Spirit dropped this word, you know, inside of me, I said, okay, you know, it made me think about my book. And for those of you who are my accountability partners, good morning, Bert. Good morning, Maria. Yes, the book the manuscript has been sent to my editor, and he is editing. So yay, all of that is taken care of. So more to come. But in my book, guys, self-reflection is so important to me that I devoted an entire chapter to it because it was so a part of my journey and who I was. And, you know, I know what I look like on the outside, but I really had to take a deep look on the inside, you know, because I needed to know who I was. And as I went through, I never had a problem with dressing it up, just like most of you all. You know, we could put the mask on, we could put the makeup on, we can go out, we could beat our face, ladies, we can look good, fellas, we can put on a fresh suit, we can be rocking, and everything looks good on the outside, but on the inside, it's all crumbling down. And it made me think about 2 Corinthians 13:5, where it says, examine yourselves to see whether you are in faith. Do you realize that Christ Jesus is in you? And I really had to do some self-examination. You know, I had to make sure I wasn't living by that principle, fake it till you make it. Because what I found with fake it till you make it is it causes us to make a whole bunch of bad decisions because we're faking, we're pretending to be somebody else, somebody that we are not. And I wanted nothing but what he wanted for me. I wanted to be the version of Katrina that he wanted me to be, so that he ultimately could get all the glory. So it's not about me. So it's not about anything else. You know, I wanted to live by the principle of, Lord, not my will be done, but yours be done. I don't need to fake anything because you have prescribed, you have designed my freedom. You know exactly what I need. So I don't have to pretend to be anybody else. And in my process or journey of self-reflection, I had to ask myself some very difficult questions that sometimes I didn't want to answer, or I wasn't comfortable hearing the answer. So on this morning, guys, I'll be transparent, I'll be vulnerable, because maybe it'll, you know, help somebody else, you know. And sometimes I had to ask myself, a few of the questions were, number one, why do I want the things that I want? Was it something that it was going to help his kingdom? Was it going to help other people? Was it going to be a benefit to others? Or was it just about Trina or Katrina, however you know me, getting an accolade or getting a pat on the back or being recognized? Or was it another one of the things that I wanted to have? I had to ask myself, why aren't you happy with the tools and the gifts that you were given? Why are you looking at other people's tools and gifts and saying, dang, I wish I had some of that, or dang, I wish I had more of this, instead of cultivating what it was that I had? These are questions I had to ask myself. And like I said, I didn't always like the answers. Thank God, but God, and thank God where I am today, because back then it was difficult. It was hard. And that final question that made me really change everything, and it changed the game for me, was, why are you not being obedient to what he has called you to be? Now, I don't know who that's for, but I'm going to ask the question, why aren't you being obedient today? You know, when God calls us, because I knew I had an anointing on my life, I just didn't know the extent. And a lot of times we don't know. We're thinking right here in this little box, and he's way out here. And it's like, oh my God, you're going to use me, but I don't feel like I'm worthy for that. You know, I have a past, and we all have a past, but he will use anybody to do his will. And we have to be obedient. We have to be willing to say, okay, I surrender it all to you. I'm going to give it all to you, the good, the bad. Even when I don't feel like I'm enough, I know I'll keep my eyes fixed on you, because you said I was enough. It's not about what man says. And again, I'm talking about my journey. You know, I reflected even on Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane in Luke 22:44, and he asked God to remove the cup of suffering for him, because he was like, you know, he knew what was about to happen. But then he also said, you know what? Not my will. He surrendered and said, not my will, but his will, your will, God, be done. So are you really saying, and not with your mouth, with your actions, do you mean it? Do you mean, you know what, Lord, use me however you see fit? Are you at that place? And if you're not at that place, and I promise you, I didn't get to that place overnight. It took years. It took time. I'm 45 years old. I'm still on my faith walk. I consider myself to be a babe in my faith walk, but I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I am on the walk. I'm grateful that I can look at myself and I can really be self-reflective, because what I identified in the process or journey of self-reflection was, it wasn't about Trina. It was about Trina aligning herself vertically, so that horizontally I'll be able to help the people that I was supposed to help and come in contact with, because I realized that it wasn't about me. He wasn't doing it for me. And a lot of times I'll be transparent, I was focusing on what I wasn't instead of what I was. So I don't know who that's for. Are you focusing on what you're not instead of what you are, and more importantly, whose you are? When I identified and truly realized that I was the daughter of a king, and yeah, my maiden name is King, but I'm talking about I was the daughter of the king, the creator, it looked different. That process taught me to extend grace to myself, because I could extend it to other people. And some people have it the opposite. They can extend it to themselves, or they want to extend it to themselves, but they can't give it to other people. I was freely giving it to others, but I didn't find myself worthy. And I learned to correct that. I learned to correct myself and to be able to celebrate myself instead of waiting on the world to do it. So that way it eliminated resentment, fear, envy, and jealousy. And you know, this week, I'm a part of a camp series through my church. I know that's right, Juanita. I see you listening, sis. And with camp, I'm in a group of women, and our ages are like 36 through about 50. And we meet every Wednesday. It's 30 minutes, and it's just like a online barbecue of sorts, or an online tea, where we just get together and we talk and we fellowship. And it's nothing, real tight and rigid. But as we listen to the message that came this week from Pastor Daryl Hall, it was about persistent faith. And it made me think about my journey of self-reflection, because he asked some questions. The first thing he started with, he said, if you could have dinner with anybody who ever lived, who would that be? And, he talked about the fact that he had a whole list of people that he would have dinner with. But he talked about this one gentleman who, and I won't even butcher his name, his wife died. He lived in a third world country. His wife died because instead of them being able to go through the mountain, they had to go all around, which was such a long journey that she didn't make it. And he vowed to drill a hole through that mountain. And he was able to do that. And he drilled the hole through the mountain, and he did it. It took him about 22 years to do it, and he did it with a hammer and a chisel. And he talked about persistent faith and commitment. And I was like, oh my goodness, just the thought of that. And the fact of the matter was, he didn't do it all day. He did it when he got off work. So how many of us would have that persistent faith? And he asked the questions, 3 of them, for us to reflect on. Number 1, what did you start that you wanted to quit, but you persisted and you continue? And in our group, we had people who talked about a variety of different things that they wanted to quit, because, he also spoke on the fact that when you are in alignment, when you are anointed and you're doing his work, the first thing that's going to creep up is that spirit of exhaustion, where you're tired and I feel like I can't do it and it's too much and I want to give up and I don't want to deal with it anymore. And I was like, okay. I could not, I'm sorry, y'all, I have a little one with me. I could not, I couldn't process that thing. I could process it because it was like he was all in my house. And I told my girlfriend, I'm like, he came and stood on top of my desk, because that was me just a couple weeks ago. I felt exhausted. I know God told me to write the book. I was at the end of the book and I felt like I could not do anymore. I didn't have any energy. I was done. I had another one of my friends, Yvonne, she talked about her dissertation, how she picked it up, how she put it down, but she picked it up, and her persistence is going to allow her to finish. Because the second question was, what did you learn from your persistent faith? And that third one was the biggest one of all: who could benefit? And it made me reflect and say, you know what? It's not all about us. It's about that other person. Like this morning, when I was listening to the God Zone, and, Martin Augustine was talking about the fact that, what our fruit, or Bernadette talked yesterday about what kind of fruit are we producing? Is it bitter or is it sweet? And he talked about the fact that, what? We have to produce the fruit. We have a responsibility, not just for us. We have a responsibility for the people that are around us. So we got to produce the right fruit. We got to do the right things, and we got to always start with us. And I go back to Wednesday when we had Wisdom Wednesday, and Bernadette was on, and she talked about the fact that being a praying mother, she had to start with herself first. And we have to look at ourselves, and it's hard, guys. That was one of the hardest processes that I've ever had to learn, the process of self-reflection and being really honest, because I had to do some things to get myself there, because it's hard to hear people say, or even to really reflect and see yourself from a bird's eye view, to take yourself out of where you are in the physical and look at yourself from a different perspective. But I did it. I was able to get in a quiet place with me and him so that he can show me who I was. He can show me the things that I needed to remove. So when somebody else would say it out of their mouth, it wasn't difficult for me to receive, and I can receive it with my ears open instead of being quick to try to respond. The other thing is, I gave intentionality to improving me, to being the best version of me, to fixing those areas that were not quite right. When my heart wasn't in alignment with what his will was, I had to work on it. I had to get it together. I also reflected on the beautiful people that were around me, and people that didn't need to be around me. I distanced myself from them because I didn't want negativity. I didn't want anything that was not going to be in alignment with what he had for my life. I didn't want to be a Jekyll and Hyde, one person with this group, one person with that group. I needed to be myself all the way around, and anybody that couldn't accept who I was and where I was going, they had to go, simply enough. Another thing is being able to accept feedback and compliments. Some of us can't accept feedback. I'm good on feedback. I struggle sometimes with compliments, because have you ever found yourself when somebody says, oh my goodness, you did a great job with sharing that information or doing X, Y, and Z, and you downplay it and you say, well, I tried, next time I'll do better. No, accept the compliment. Be able to say, you know what, thank you, I really worked hard. And give yourself that pat on the back. If somebody is giving it to you, you can take it. It doesn't, you can be humble and accept a compliment. And that's a place where I kind of struggled at. The other thing I needed to do, or that I did, was value me and the gifts that God has entrusted in me. And I made sure that I was a good steward over those gifts, that I was making sure that I was valuing myself the way he did. I didn't discount myself, because when we discount ourselves, we allow other people to do it. So guys, what I want you to do today is take some time to reflect on, you know, some positive things that you've done over the last 24 hours, or some things that you might say, well, you know what, I could have done that. I could have did that better. And do it with your eyes open. Get in a quiet place. Recognize your actions, regardless of the results, because sometimes the results are slow to come, but it's okay. Recognize your actions. And I'm going to end with this, guys. Colossians 3:10 says, put on a new self who is being removed to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created him. So guys, mirror, mirror, it's selfie time. Let's take a look and let's see if we like what we see. And if we don't like what we see, we can fix it. We have the ability to do so. So I love you guys. I'm excited about your Friday. And again, happy Juneteenth. Celebrate freedom, guys. This is a great time to do so. I love each and every one of you. Take a look in the mirror and tell me what you see. Send me a DM or a message on Facebook or Instagram. And like I said, I'm about to post a very quick, it's less than a minute video. I want you guys to take a look at it. Let me know what you think, because we want to get this movement out there. Share the information, guys. I love you. Yes, Miss Juanita, sweep around your own front door. That's right. This is about us. We can't be sweeping around anybody else's door. We can't be cleaning up nobody else's house if our house isn't clean. And that's right here. So make sure you are doing those things. Take some time for you today. It doesn't take long, but it's a consistent process. It's not a one and done. It does take time. So you have to stay with it. You got to stay the course. So guys, happy Juneteenth. I love you. Have a fantastic Friday, and I look forward to seeing you soon. God bless you guys, and take care.